Morning, Frazee. This one goes out to you, bud.
It's only for the show. Like the beat of my heart, beat goes on, beat goes on. Like the beat of my heart, beat goes on, beat goes on. You know that I'm leaving. It's only for the show. You know that I'm leaving. It's only for the show. Like the beat of my heart, beat goes on, beat goes on.
Stick man or stick woman, you have graduated your first class and you are happy, very happy. You've now moved up to Earth Moving 102, and I thought all week long and hard about what to name this, and I finally just decided I'll name it Carrying the Load. I don't know why. It seemed to have a bit of a ring. Sounds a little edgy. I liked it. So that's what it is. Hopefully it'll make sense when we're done. What I'm going to try and do is explain a concept called slot dozing. And I thought all week about how best to explain carrying the load, and slot dozing is definitely by far the best example. The challenge is that you have to see beyond the physical, like slot dozing and the big dozer blade, and you need to apply the same concepts but on a smaller scale. And it's hard to even notice them sometimes because they're such a small scale, but they're still there. The same physics, the same dynamics, the same effort and requirements of energy are still there. So pay attention to those details, and that's how you'll be a mega mover and super efficient and worth super big money, because you're so quick. You're just so fast, okay? So here we go. We got a hillside. This is the profile, all right? And here is a design grade that we are going to create. All right, let's just say we got a cut here. This is mega scale, so this is like 3 meters. All right, we get a 3 meter fill, and they balance out, which is super sweet. So we got a fun little day here. We're gonna do this cut fill. We're gonna build this road. All right, so existing grade, and dotted line is proposed center line. So naturally, being the smart guy you are, decide that you would best do this with a dozer, and you'd push it from the top and you'd push down the hill. What you're going to do is cut from here and push to there. Or you're going to do what I see some people do, and that's just take 6 inches off the whole top and put it 6 inches in the whole bottom. I kid you not, I've seen it many times. So option 1, 6 inches off, and then you're going to carry that and you're going to put it down in there. Alright, we look at the distances we're moving, materials, if we cube it out again, like that, it goes kind of to there, but not really, because that's kind of going forward to there, and then this material is coming all the way forward to here, sort of double doing all the movements. So we don't like that option. Nay. Alright, so then what we do instead is we come up with a dozer and we create a nice angle of approach, and we enter into that cut like so, and we chunk that material out just like we learned before, loading the shovel. I'm hoping you guys can all see that. No idea what the heck this camera's seeing right now. Alright, and then we carry that and we put it into here and we start building our grade out. Now the only trick is generally you got to do some engineered lifts. You can't just blaze it in, right? We're not mining gold here, Leo, okay? Cut fill. This material may potentially need to come and start laying in to get some horizontal lifts going. So that's fine. We can still cut from here and move, because we don't have a restriction on, like, you cannot cut more than 6 inches at a time, okay? Well, that would be horrendous. An engineer might try and actually tell you that one day. You know what to do. So we will just keep doing this. Now, one thing to know, we don't want to get too carried away and have it so we're like stoving the dozer way up and having these crazy entry angles. Like, I'm not saying let's, be astronauts here. I just mean let's chunk it out, let's be productive. We cut out, here's our slots, right? That all makes logical sense. So the thing, when you make that movement that makes the dozer so much more powerful, especially if it doesn't have just a big mucker U-blade for just mucking around everywhere. If it doesn't have that, which it shouldn't, what you're gonna get is you're gonna have a close-up of that blade. It's gonna look like this, alright? Here's our sweet C-frame, because we're cool, alright? And there's our couple rods. Is that working? So when you start smashing through there, what's gonna happen is your material is gonna pile up in front of your blade like some kind of a cone, like so. That's sort of the limits of what you can carry on that blade, and depending on the material, it'll depend on the angle, the repose, and all that stuff. What we want to do is we want to create a windrow on each side of our blade, and we want to leverage that windrow to carry this material. And now all of a sudden, instead of having that for a volume we can carry, we have a volume like this. Whoa. That looks like turbo fun right there, for sure. Alright, so we're just honking down here, supervisor's looking over at us, giving us the thumbs up because we're such a rock star. And removing the material. So it's fun. Obviously, if you looked at this from a side, if this was your blade, here, like so, we're now getting that material to pile up, and the capacity of our blade almost becomes a function of the height of that blade by the width and by how the material is performing as far as pushing out in front of us. Now a good blade too will actually take that material, it's going to whip that up. Your cohesive soils, that's super nice because it gets that air going and it gets you real able to get that clay to tack up real nice. Right, Alberta boys? Did I get that right? I hope so. If not, you can let me know. So, there we go. We carry the material down and we're starting at the front, we're working out, so you sort of build the windrows as you go. Now I'm going to do a whole other lesson on cleaning up windrows because that's worthy of one in itself. And I think I got to start charging you guys for some of this, but anyways, for now it's free, okay? The load. Alright, now what I want to do is relate this to other things, and how I'm going to do that is we're just going to look at this blade for a second, okay? We're just going to look at the blade on its own. Here we go. So this blade, super sweet, would be cool, a big blade like that, and then we put some excavator lugs on it, and we made that thing rotate. We have those, they're called chuck blades, and they're sweet. Never actually used one, but they look really cool. I'd like to try one day. And what I like about it is it totally relates and parlays how that blade looks and how that could be either pushed via a dozer with a super sweet C-frame and straight bars, no U-blades, boys, okay? Or you could have an excavator and you could pull that. So in a lot of ways you could use that same idea of windrows and this blade to hold that material in. And you start extrapolating that out, and you are making money, my friend. You are moving some serious material and you're having fun. Alright? Now, not all of us have super cool chuck blades, myself included, so what we have buckets. Alright, what's important is that this cutting edge, if we flip that bucket out, what do we have? We basically got our cutting edge, their bolts staring at us, we got the plate behind us, we got a couple side frames. Kind of got a U-blade. I hate to admit it, but it sort of is a U-blade. Anyways, we can use that blade and we can pull and we can push and we can pull, we can push, we can pull, we can push. And if we work that blade in that bucket just like we would under the principles of slot dozing, and we use the material and the banks and where we pull material from, and starting at the front of the pile, not the back of the towel, to pull material to keep it confined, you can really start to see all the synergies between it. Alright? Thanks for joining me, everyone. I appreciate it, and I will try and get you another video in the near future. Cheers.